Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing the Rolex Datejust Pearlmaster Goldust Dream. This is reference 81315, and it is a G serial number, so roughly 2010. I like to feature interesting ladies' watches when we have them in stock, so bowing to popular demand, here you go. In rose gold, I should say Everose red gold, the watch is 34 millimeters in diameter. It is 10.6 millimeters thick. It's 40.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. If we include the end links of the Pearlmaster bracelet, then it is 44 millimeters across the wrist with a narrow 17 millimeter spacing between the lugs. I'll see if I can fit this one on my wrist. It's probably just going to make it here. It actually has a lot of presence. It doesn't appear undersized. I do consider it to be a lady's watch. I don't consider it to be a mid-size. It is a lot smaller than something like, for example, a Datejust 36, but it's not overwhelmed by a 16 centimeter circumference wrist. I would just advise, and I rarely advise, about largest wrist sizes, but this would be it. Don't wear this watch on a wrist larger than 16 centimeters if you want it to look proportionally excellent. That said, as compact as it is, I don't think there's a lower limit for wrist size. You can also see that it's low enough to fit easily underneath a dress cuff for those times when discretion and elegance are necessary. Now, Rolex has several different bracelet designs. You know, the Jubilee, the Oyster, and the President. This is the Pearlmaster. We don't see it as often. All polished with differential link size and differential link alignment. It's constructed conventionally with removable links fixed in place by screws, and you can see there are intermediate size links in there to adjust the sizing. We have a fully finished Rolex clasp made of thick gauge Everose red gold, and it has a beacon hook system. You can see that there's a pivoted lift lock. You actually latch them together, they snap shut. You can't just pull it open, you do need to unlatch it first. So it gives you great security on the wrist. The case is probably the most conventional thing about this watch, as it's an Oyster case in 34 millimeters with a twin lock crown that screws down. You know it's a twin lock in gold because it has those two dots. That's what that means. Solid Oyster case back. Now this is Everose red gold. Rolex has its own foundry. It makes its own alloys. Everose is redder thanks to a higher proportion of copper, and it also has a higher proportion of platinum, which means it is ever rosy. It will not oxidize or fade over time and turn to pink gold. So this will stay ever rosy. The bezel, the case, everything in high polish, and the bezel set with titanic brilliant cut diamonds acting as outer hour indices. Gem setting at Rolex is still done manually, so you can see that this bezel is very much a handmade component. Now the dial, it is lovely mother of pearl, and on top of that we have gold dust that creates leaf-like floral patterns. That is why this is known as the Goldust Dream dial. We also have applique Roman numerals in solid gold, and you can see that Roman numeral 6 down at the bottom of the dial, in addition to being inverted, is also gem set. If you look carefully, you can see that there's even a little bit of a pink tint to the date disc. Now the watch includes a quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle the date if you wish to do so. And the watch includes a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set your Pearlmaster precisely against a reference time. Inside, because this is a smaller case, we have a movement designed for smaller watches. Rolex caliber 2235, it's 20 millimeters in diameter, but otherwise it has the same tech specs that you'll find on larger Rolex movements. Automatic winding, bidirectional with a 48-hour power reserve, stop seconds, quick set, COSC chronometer certification. It pivots on 31 jewels. It beats away at 8 beats per second. It has a full balance bridge that is free sprung for shock tolerance, and it has an overcoil hairspring made by hand with a brigade profile, so in any position the watch will keep consistent time rather than running fast or slow as gravity would dictate with a conventional flat hairspring. So reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.